So hello everyone. So today we'll be recreating this header and the banner section. Okay. So one thing before you get started, so I want you to go to your folder and let's configure the font because it was quite it was not the font that we wanted. So just gonna go to the folder here. Here I will just open my IDE and let's config. Okay, so in my index.css file I want you to do this to 300 to 400. Okay, so the font weight and 600 is fine, this one should be 700. Okay, so yeah, and let's look at the app. Okay, so I guess this is fine. So let's recreate this navigation section. So first thing what we need to do is we need to give some custom color, so this color, so in Tailwind. So let's see, custom color config Tailwind. I guess I don't have internet right now. Okay, so yes, yeah, custom color. So this one, the color, yeah, so this is how you're gonna give your own custom color here. So let's see in the MovieDB itself here. I will just grab this the color. Okay, so let's just see the CSS here, and this one, the TMDB dark blue, so this is the RGB value, so I will need to just specify that. So in my Tailwind config I will just say give colors, and let's just say TMDB dark blue and RGB. So what's the value? 336, 37 and 65. Control V, this should be string, so let's wrap it inside a quote. Okay, and yeah, that's it for the color. So let's just create a layout here. Okay, let's just say a layout folder, create a layout folder, and just rename it to layouts, and inside this let's create a navbar folder. Let's create another folder, navbar. Okay, so let's create here a file index.jsx. so let's create const navbar is equal to, so I'll write the E6 function now since we already have the Babel compiler. Okay, this E6 compiler, so I'll use export, I'll use default export here, navbar. Okay, so and return, let's just create a navigation and return it. Okay, so this I will have a class name of height. I'll just keep some height here. Okay, so this is just giving some 64 pixel height. Okay, the rem height 4 rem, and the navbar. The color should be now background the TMDB, so this one specified color one, and this should be inside my app component. Okay, so for now I'll just simply put the navbar. So we need to import it, so in order to import it, let's just see how we can import it. So if it's a default export, we can say whatever the name we want from dot slash means we are in this directory. If you're gonna go, you're gonna go on up directory, but we just want to be in that directory. And layouts, so the navbar, you can actually get this index like this, but there's no need to do this since it will automatically search for the index. Okay, so if it's index, so you cannot, you don't have to specify that index. So yeah, navbar, let's just see whether we have that navbar in this app component or not. So now we see that we have this navigation bar. Okay, so there are some navigation items, so let's just create some JS file here inside the navbar. So I'll just say nav items. Okay, nav items dot js file. So here this should contain the information of so I will use a const. Okay, so first let's create two variables, nav item left, nav items left. Okay, so this one will have information, array of nav items, and nav items right. Okay, so I'm creating two different variables here. So nav items left means anything that is this the left part, this left part and the right part. Okay, so here I'll create an object rather than just giving the okay name only. Okay, so name is the first one is the logo here, and I'll just say type is also, I'll just say logo. Okay, so let's just copy this, and how many of these things that we have? So 1 2 3 4 4 more. Okay, and name as movies, and type is just this is just a text. Just gonna copy this one. Yeah, and the other one here is the TV shows, and this one here is the more, right? So that's my left. Okay, so people as well, so just gonna create another one. This should be people. So similar to this, I will create I will copy. Okay, and here okay, I'll just copy this. Okay, similar. Your name should be, so this is an icon, let's just say this is a plus icon. Okay, plus, and type is icon. Okay, so this one here is en. Okay, and this one is a language, so let's just say type is a language. Okay, and here is the login, the name should be login here, login, and this one is join tmdb, and this one's the search text. Okay, so let's just say search, and this one is text tx. Okay, icon. So this one this thing, so we need to export it. So now we cannot actually default, we can actually wrap it inside a single object, and we can do the default export, but let's not do that. Let's do the const export. Okay, so if we do const export, so there is a different way to now import it. So let's just try to we'll see when we import it. So first also we need to create a navbar dot let's say navbar list dot jsx component. Okay, so this is the navbar list, and I will just say this const navbar list is equal to, and I also have this default export here, navbar list. Okay, and yeah, so now this should return an unordered list. Okay, and let's just say that this accepts some kind of props. Okay, this accepts some kind of props that has an item property in it. Okay, so since it has an item property, we can actually destructure it using ES6 syntax and directly grab the items. Okay, so now in order to show that, we need to write JavaScript here. So curly braces to get started with JavaScript, and now we need to loop it. Let's say items dot, we can use map here, and yeah, this is item. Okay, so this is an arrow function, it takes function as an argument. We need to return, so what we need to return is we need to return a list of JSX. Okay, a list here, and this should we know that items has a property of name, so we can, it's an object of property of name, so this is an item, not item. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So inside the index.jsx, so here we want to have that those items, right? So I can do navbar, so I can actually direct import it like this. Okay, so in order, okay, let's just, okay, so this is not how I'm gonna import it. So I'm gonna import the navbar list. Okay, so import navbar list. Okay, so this auto import, VS Code provides it, you can do that as well. So yeah, so let's have navbar list. Okay, and yeah, we know that we are providing some kind of prop items prop, so I copy this both here. Okay, and now that we have, we need to import this one. This is the const import, right? So we need to, this is the name, this is what we call named import. Okay, so this is so we okay, and this is not the default import here, so we need to import it. It's a completely different syntax. We need to use object destructuring here, and from dot slash, this is nav items. Okay, so exact name we should provide. So in default import we don't have to provide the exact name, so we can actually have our own name, but here we need to provide the exact name. So nav bar, nav items left, and nav items right, these are the names, right? Okay, so here we need to put that as well, nav items left and nav items right. So let's have a look at our application. So you see that we all have this all the items coming in here. Okay, so but this is not how we want to do it. We want to have this display of flex. Okay, so that now this will have also text color should be white, right? So you see now these are two containers of flex container, a flex display. Okay, so these two are actually now has a flex section of row, and yeah, that's fine, that's what we need. So another thing is we need to have font of semi bold at 601, font weight 601. Okay, and let's also give yeah, this is fine. So yeah, this is working fine. And now let's say, so this one should be justify, so justify between. Okay, so justify content space between, it's basically saying justify content space between. And now if we do that, we see that one is here and one is there. Okay, so that is fine, and these items should itself be a flex items. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So here in UL, I'll just give a class name of flex, and that's it. You can give a flex here. Okay, so now you see that is so in order to make these things at center in the index file, we need to write here items center. Okay, so that means this all items center, that means we are now at center. So also need to give gap between those, so we can give some also this is just space between, so we don't have to give gap here. So this is fine for now, and yeah, we have this fine. So let's see, so there is actually max width and padding here. If we hover here, there is some kind of padding and max width. Okay, so let's just also specify max width, and to give custom we need to write okay, I will this square bracket, I'll 1400 pixel. So that means this whole navigation has a max width of 1400 pixel. Okay, and I'll just do margin X of auto, I guess. Okay, so yeah, that's fine, and that is it. Okay, so but this section is not actually, doesn't have that. Also let's just keep padding X of 10 as well. So okay, so this is fine, but yeah, this is for now, this is fine. Okay, now let's give some gap between those flex items. Okay, here, so let's just specify some gap, and we can actually specify this is gap 7, and let's see, and this is still good. Okay, and I guess this is fine to do this, and yeah, now you see that we want a component. Let's create a component here. So let's just name this component, and let's just say this is a header component, HEADER header JSX. Okay, so what I will do is import the nav bar here. Okay, so nav bar from the header, and create a header component from header because header is equal to is a function. Okay, and this is gonna return a header. Okay, and I'm just gonna put the nav bar here. So yeah, I just need to give a background of color of TMDB dark blue. Okay, so now if we look at it, so yeah, we're actually not using this. So export default header. So in order to use this, we need to call it in the app function here. Instead of calling app here, we call header. Okay, so yeah, auto import, let's do auto import here. You see that this is auto import, so now we don't need the nav import here. You see, now you see that there is this background, everything is fine, just like so. But this one actually is a logo, and this one, these two are icons, and this has a little bit different. So how are we gonna achieve that? Okay, And to do this, we can actually create a function inside the navbar list. So we will create a function here. Let's just say const get item. Okay, so this is a function. So here we will receive an item object. Let's just say this is an item object. We assume that we receive an item object. So we create a switch case. Okay, switch, and we already have this type property, and we can actually get it. So case of, so what if the case is let's create something called item list JSX. Let item list is equal to, I'll just give it some kind of let's say for null for now. Okay, so case here is of what, as I say, it's a logo, right? Case if item type is logo, what we're gonna do, so what we're gonna do here is we would want item list, okay, to be a JSX of image tag. Okay, so here, and the source should be, so there is no source, so we need to specify the source. How are we gonna do that? Okay, for now let's just give the alt tag. Alt tag here is item dot name. Okay, name is gonna define here. Now the source, so we need to grab it. This, the logo itself is the one that we need to grab it. So this one, the source, so copy this, and inside our nav items.js, here inside logo I'll just create src as well, since this is an image, and I'll just copy that. Okay, so basically I am src, I am actually copying that. So yeah, this is property, so there's no equal to sign, so okay, this is fine. And now, so if it's type of logo, then we have some kind of source. Okay, so we have this source, so item will have a type of source, item dot src, and this will be fine. Okay, so you need to have break here, because okay, that's something we need, and also a default statement. So default is something that we need to have, is we can simply give a paragraph here and simply have that name. Okay, item dot name. Okay, and that's it. After the, let's do, I don't know if this is, should give a break here or not. This is return item list. Okay, and yeah, so here I'll just see that if I'll just say get item, now I can actually access this function. Now to access this function, we need to start with the curly braces, so that we are writing JavaScript get item, and we need to send the item object. Okay, so item object, see this actually, now this will actually give us JSX. Okay, so this is JSX if it's logo. So if it's logo, so I will also need to have some class also. So the height should be I'll just say height 5 for now. So this is actually 1.25 rem or 20 pixel approximately. Okay, so let's just see what happens. So yeah, this is working, but the thing is the logo itself isn't working. Let's just try to see in the index, in the index.cs, I mean in the nav part. So yeah, let's just try to give it again. I don't know if this is actually working or not. But so alt logo class. Okay, so there is no source here, but this is weird. So in my nav list, source is equal to item dot src, and that should be fine. Did I save it? Okay, I guess this should work. But yeah, it is working now. You see, this is working fine. Okay, so let us also give some minimum height here as well on nav. Minimum height of, let's just say minimum height of It's custom. Let's just give a custom height of 154 pixel here. Just okay, minimum width. Sorry. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So now for the icons, okay, so we need to have these icons. Okay, so these two icons, and so let's just look at for the case of language. Okay, so here we have the case of language that we have created. Okay, so you see in our this file, so the English one has the language, so this case that we need to look language. Okay, and if it's a language, then it's simply a paragraph. Okay, it's a paragraph, and this paragraph should have a class name of border white. Yes, obviously borders should be white, and first let's just give the name. Okay, a border white, and it should be rounded. I'll just say it should be rounded 3 pixel. Okay, and just keep padding y of 3 pixel as well, and padding x of 5 pixel, I guess, and border also 1 pixel. Okay, and border should be solid, so border solid as well. So let's look at it, and inside this, so get the case here, this one, the syntax. Also this should be there should be break as well. Okay, so break. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Now let's look at it. We actually are not seeing this language, so I don't know why we are actually we are not having that. Border solid, this is border style solid. This should be working fine though. And yeah, language, right? This is the type of language. So let's just look at if I see this is still not centered as well. Now this class name is actually not working, and the language lang. Okay, so the spelling is mistake. Okay, so this should be working now. Okay, so this is actually working, and the you see that this thing are not centered as well. So let's just say that the nav in the nav by index, so we have this item center, so this is working. Okay, so also inside this should be item center as well. So the UL where is this should have an items center as well. So let's look at it. Yeah, this is probably gonna work. Yeah, this is not fine. So there's a hover effect as well. So if I hover, okay, so the color changes, so let's just do that as well. So in Tailwind we can simply write hover and start giving what we want. Okay, so the color, background color should be white, and also write another hover, and this is the text color should be tmdb.u. Okay, so this one, okay. So let's look at it, and if we we see that. Okay, so now let's go and look for the icons as well. We create another case for icons. So for this I want you to have this I want you to look at this website npm.js. So it's from I want you to have this component react font awesome. Okay, so this is probably React font awesome. I don't know how many downloads it has, but we can use this component here, and it's pretty simple to use. You can just simply in my terminal we can simply install that package. Okay, so yeah, I'm just installing the font awesome here, and after this is done, so also we need to import the CDN. Okay, so this one, the CDN. Okay, so this one we need to import not public index folder, so we will simply import it here, and that's it. We will not touch anything here now. Let's go to the navbar here. Now that we have installed our component, we want to import that font awesome. Okay, import font awesome from React font awesome. I'll just say font awesome icon here, and just use it for the case of icon. Okay, and this is again syntax, and let's have break as well. So item list. Okay, so I need to provide item list is equal to, so this should be font awesome component, icon component. Okay, I'll just say single tag component, and this should have a name of, so I already have specified the name for item, that name, right? So and this will actually show us the icon. Okay, so the icons are here. So the name of the icon is plus, and the search which I have already written it, so that's why it is working. So you can actually look font awesome docs to have the name of those icons as well. But anyway, so for size, I'll just give a little bit large size and large. Okay, LZ instead. Okay, so now we have large size. Okay, so we have the navigation bar almost complete. Okay, yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, navigation bar is fine. So now let's move on to the banner. Okay, so everything so only the header is actually complete full screen, but the banner section has a maximum width, I guess. So here we need to specify something, the max width property. So we'll create a container, and okay, so inside the layout I'll just create another folder. I'll just say container. Okay, and inside the container I'll create an index folder, index.jsx. Okay, so just to have a good look at folder, we can also something VS Code icons, have this as installed, so that we can have a good look of our folders as well. So let's just install it for now and see. I'll install this extension. So yeah, now you can see this folder has a pretty good look as well. Okay, so we are creating a container. Okay, so inside a container I will okay, so I'll create container component or container function here, and export this as a default, export default container. Okay, so here we don't know what we will put inside the maximum width. Okay, so we'll just return a division, okay, that has a class name of maximum width. Okay, maximum width should be our custom maximum 1400 pixel. Okay, so this one. So whatever inside it we don't really know, so we are expecting some kind of children prop. Okay, so we can, so that we can write inside that container custom container tag. Okay, so and we will just say that all the children components should be displayed here, so that this is done, our container is done. So now we can start creating a banner. So I'll just inside my header a component, I'll just so this actually should be, I'll just create a folder called header, and okay, sorry, this is a folder. Okay, I'll just create another folder banner here. Okay, so the header I'll cut it and I'll put it inside this, and update. Yeah, you have to update all those imports as well, otherwise your imports now you'll see some kind of error. So banner in index.jsx. Okay, so here I also want to have index.jsx in .jsx. Okay, so yeah, okay, and I'm doing auto import as well, so that all those imports will be automatically imported. So here wherever I use those imports. Okay, So you see where so in the app component you see now it's the import is already fixed. Okay, so you can fix it manually, but VS Code will automatically do that for you as well. So if you change your file folder structure, so I'll just create a banner component. Okay, so const banner. Okay, and yeah, here we have it, a banner component. And also I want to export this, export default banner. Okay, so now I will just return and just say for now, let's say return s1 tag, let's say hi I'm banner, and hi I am banner. I want to show something here. So you see now in order to use that our header, so this one, so this is probably navbar import is probably wrong, so need to fix it. Dot slash dot slash dot slash layout slash navbar. Okay, this is it. And yeah, and so we have to use that. Okay, so how are you gonna use that? So a function can only return one tag, one JSX element. Okay, so we cannot actually write another here, like okay, import, let's just import that banner as well. Import banner from dot slash dot slash components slash banner. Okay, so we cannot just do that instead, and we can do that, and we cannot just write here banner. Okay, so this is actually gonna be error. So we need to wrap these two things inside a single div. We can create a single div, but I want to make sure that you use the fragment. So to fragment we need simply the empty div. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. Okay, so this is just a fragment. Okay, and so this will help us so that we don't have those unnecessary divisions. Okay, so technically we are only importing returning a single JSX. Okay, so with the help of fragment. Okay, and let's see if we can actually now see this. Okay, so hi I'm banner. So we have this banner, but the banner itself should be inside the container that we have created. Okay, so let's see how we're gonna do that. So just need to import this. I'll just use the auto import here. Okay, so not from the post CSS container. Okay, so it's from our layout. Okay, so inside this container I would need to paste this banner so that it expects a children, right, container. So we write this. So now if I this is working fine, but the thing is we are actually in our container is still a flaw. There is a flaw here. Okay, let's just look at it. So in our layouts, in our container, so you see we need to do something called mxf auto, and this will actually fix it. Okay, so this will actually give us a container. Okay, so now this is fine, and let's look at how are you gonna implement that banner, all those classes. Okay, so here we have this image that you want to display. So first thing, the banner should have a height. Okay, so the height, let's just say the height should be around 250 or 300 pixel. So let's just create a div. Okay, here, and the class name should be height of 300 pixel, let's just say. Okay, and yeah, we're not gonna see it anything. Let's just say background color is tmdbw or whatever. Let's just to see. So now we see that there is a banner, see, like this, but it's not the color, it's the image, right? So let's inspect it and let's just download this image. Which one? This one. So how we're gonna do this is we just need that probably in this one, the background image. This is how we're gonna get that image. Actually this is the image URL here, but I want to access this. Yeah, so this is the image. Okay, so I want to get the image URL here and we will use it. So how are you gonna use that image? So one thing is we can do background, okay, so we can actually specify URL in Tailwind as well, but we will do custom configuration on Tailwind. Okay, so for the image, so let's just look at customizing background image. Okay, here so you see that, yeah, here, so we can actually access this background image. Yeah, I can do this. I'll just copy this, and inside after colors I'll just write background image, and inside, so we'll just say banner. Okay, for the banner we will need a URL, and that image should be our, okay, sorry, that image should be our image, this one, right? Yeah, this is fine. And now we are just gonna get that in our banner component. So let's go to our banner. So here we just need to import, so in the background should be now banner, right? You see background banner and then, yeah, this is gonna work. So you see, yeah, we have this image, but the image is kind of overflowing, it's not the whole image here, so we need to make sure that the image is cover image. So cover, yeah, and this is fine. You see, this is fine, but you also notice that this has a darker shade and this is much lighter shade than, so which we cannot see this here. You see this one is much darker here, so it's actually a linear gradient that we want to use. So let's just simply copy this linear gradient here up to which one, up to this one. Also I will copy this, and okay, so yeah, copy that linear gradient here, and let's look at comma here, make sure you have that comma. So this one is not the color, so instead we want to copy this. Okay, so this 336, 37 and 65, this just have this instead of this whole section, and probably you're good now. Let's just see. Yeah, now this one is much darker now, right? This is fine. Okay, so this one is much darker now, and now we need to create this. Let's create okay, so let's start creating that. For now, let's just say padding by a 5 or whatever, you know, this is just a little padding, so that now next we'll create next division. So this division is for our content, mostly the paragraph, the header ones. Okay, so I'll just so have this content and this two, then input. Okay, so we'll have this flex display, class name flex, and I'll just say flex direction of column. Okay, so that, and also let's just have some kind of gap between them. Okay, so gap between them, and also let's just keep some kind of padding, and yeah, so see, nothing happens, but let's see, let's have say hi, I am paragraph or whatever. Okay, and this another div, we'll create another div, input and search, so yeah, you see this part is for our paragraph and this part is for our input and search. So now we have this two things. Okay, I'll create a division here. It is fine, so let's just create it. I'll just say the class name, font should be bold, and text a little bit of bigger text, and this should, inside this there should be a header. Okay, so I'll just write a header, and this should say welcome. Okay, something like that. And what, let's just have this class name here, and this text should be white, right? So text should be white. Okay, so I think this is fine. So we are getting this welcome. Okay, so is this fine? I guess it is fine, but it's not still dark. Okay, let's see what we can do. Is font extra bold, I guess. So is this it? It is still good though, but I don't know. So let's just see next exercise. So it is okay. So this one has mistake, so it should be 700 here, so that's why. I was not getting that bold. Okay, so this is fine. So this is bold. Now let's create the another one. So this one just below it, need to go on the banner here. So here let's just create an S3, and class name should be a font. I'll just do semi bold so that this weight, font weight is now 600, right, rather than 700. And the text size, let's just say 5 rm for now, 5 or 2 rm for now. Let's just keep it, and we will adjust. And this leading means just we are giving line height. Okay, okay. And so this should say this, so just copy this and Ctrl V, and let's see if this is gonna find. Okay, this is actually working. Now that this is done, we need this input and the button component. So we will create another folder here in the source. We'll create something called base UI. Okay, so this is our base UI components that we'll be creating. So for now we need a button folder, and another folder is the input folder that we need. So let's start creating the input. So inside input I will create something called search input button. Okay, .jsx. I'll just say, okay, source input .jsx. This is fine. The inside input I'll just create source input. Yeah, const search input is equal to, okay, so this is our search input. Okay, and export this as well, search input. And here now we will create the search input button. So we just need to return an input. Okay, and type of text, and type should be again something with this text here. And yeah, just let's see if we can actually grab that in our banner component. In our banner I will just say, so inside this div I'll just say search input. We'll just auto import from our VS Code. So if you see, now we see this, but it's quite big, right? It's not this small, and it doesn't have this outline as well, and those things we will fix through CSS. Okay, so let's go to our search input, and inside our search input section, so let's just have let's start writing CSS. Okay, so width should be full, and let's again look. Okay, so it is full, and there should be some kind of height. Okay, so let's just say height 11. Okay, so we are actually getting a pretty decent height. Okay, so height 11 means we are actually around 44 pixel. It's 2.75 rem. Okay, so some kind of rounded medium, let's just say, or maybe we can give our own custom rounded 8 rem custom border radius. So this is just border radius. Okay, yeah, so there is this outline. If you click on it, and if you click on this one, there is no outline, right? So we don't want that, so let's just say outline to none. Outline should be none. And yeah, you see now we don't have that outline. And let's give some padding. PS5, let's say py3. Okay, some padding here. And so also we need to have a placeholder as well, so let's just give placeholder. So placeholder should be this. Search for a movie TV. I need to copy this. Just copy from here, and yeah, so this is a placeholder. And if you see, so yeah, so now this has a different color as well, so we need to specify placeholder color as well. So is2 placeholder will actually, okay, sorry, placeholder will specify, oh my god, so placeholder is 2. Okay, and then we have to give text, let's just say color is light of 500. Okay, so let's see, now we have a different color here as well in the placeholder as well, and the whole text will has a different size as well. So let's just give text to have no custom font. Let's just give custom size 1.1 rem, and let's see. Yeah, this is a bit big. Yeah, this does look pretty similar now. So if I write, it is black. So if I start writing, it's not black, it's some hard gray. So I mean it's black but it's transparent, right? So let's say text black, and to make it transparent, we just divide it by any number. Let's just say if we want opacity of 0.9, we divide it by 90. If we want opacity of 0.8, we divide it by 80. Let's just say opacity of 0.5. Okay, and if we write it, so we have this yeah, pretty much similar layout. So now what we want is just a button. Okay, so to create a button, we will create another component here, the button. Inside a button, I will say search button dot .jsx. Okay, so this is search button. So const search button, sorry, okay, button is equal to, so export it, export default search search button. Okay, so return what I want to return is just a button, button. So the class name, let's just give the same height as the input button, 11. Okay, so also let's give some padding here. Let's just keep, okay, so whatever we write in the button, let's just have the text should be white, and okay, font to be a little bolder, and let's just give some padding. Okay, and let's just have this rounded, custom rounded button at rem, let's just say. And yeah, now let's just look at that button. So we are actually not using this button, so this will have a search. Okay, and so let's use this button here inside our banner. Okay, so let's just create a division, and here I'll just create a button, auto import it. No, this is not search button, right? This is the search button. Yeah, that's it. So if I'm gonna see, you see that this is search button, but there is no color. Let's just say, let's just give some color. Search button, let's just create color of some green. You see, okay, this is not working because you need to specify this. Okay, so this is the button, right? But the color itself is not green, but it's somewhat of a gradient color. Okay, so let's look at here and see. This one is a light green and light blue gradient. Okay, so how are we gonna give this? So light green and light blue. So let's just copy this thing first, light green and light blue, and config inside our element config. Let's just have color tmdb, I just say light green, I guess, RGB, and so that's it. For let's just say tmdb light blue as well. So RGB for the light blue, let's it's this one, 180 and 228. Okay, so this one I'll just copy it. Okay, yeah, these are the colors. And now let's see how we're gonna use those gradient. Okay, in our, okay, so to give gradient, we just need to say background gradient and specify the direction to right. Okay, and from the color should be tmdb this light green, and to the color should be tmdb light blue. So that way we'll have some gradient button. See, we have the pretty much similar button here. Now we can actually, we want this to be here. So how are we gonna do this? So it's very simple. It's the position property that we can make use of. So now we see that in our banner, this here button is a child of this whole division. Okay, so this whole div, we can actually create a relative position. Okay, so this is a position relative. Okay, position relative, and this search input. Okay, this is fine, but now this button division itself should be position absolute. Okay, and top should be 0. So let's just say top should be 0, then what, it will just be here. Okay, but we don't want it here, so we want it here. So we just, so by default it's top 0 and left 0, so that's why we are seeing that. So we don't have to specify those bottom things because this has the same height as of those input, so we need to just say right 0. and this will probably fix it. Yeah, now this search is now here and it's fine. So when you hover, it should be the text should be black, right? So on what we can do on the button itself, so let's just go and search button itself. So when we hover, the button should be sorry, the text should be black. Okay, this one. So if you hover, the text is black. If you see, hover, it's not black, but it's it's the blue. It's the custom color. Text TMDV dark blue, I guess. Yeah. So if you hover in our React application, so yeah, we actually get that behavior. So now we see we have this pretty much. See, yeah, I think we have this thing pretty much similar to this. So I think the container is quite big right now, and we want to actually give a little bit small container. Let's just give where's the container? The container, let's just, instead of giving 1400, let's just give this one. This one is probably fine, I guess. You see this this is fine. Just give 1300, I guess. I don't know, 1300, I guess. Yeah, no, it's pretty similar now. It's pretty much similar again. Okay, so this one is actually should be the same as well, so that yeah, just give, and the navigation, the nav bar, the index one, this should be 1300 as well, right? So that the padding actually fits. Yeah, now it looks pretty similar. Yeah, so now we have done it. So now we recreated that. Now we can actually for the functionality we will learn the state and hooks on the next video. So for now we just created those UI components using JSX and JSX and props only. Okay, so next time we will learn hooks and yeah, states and all those concepts of React, and how are we going to handle these inputs, how those component gets re-rendered and all those things. So thank you so much. I think this is gonna be quite a long video, but yeah, hope you won't mind, and yeah, we'll see you on the next video.